before you are it, you need to be it. It all starts at identity. It all starts with how you internally view yourself and then project that identity within yourself out into the world to be responded to by others. Identity is such a massive part of manifestation. And the cool thing about it is no one can keep you from becoming who you want to be. The only person who really can is you. I know it may seem like people out there in the world, your friends, your family, your coworkers, people who have known you your whole life and have watched you growing up. I know it can feel like they can keep you from becoming this new version of yourself that you so desperately feel so called to step into now. But the truth is, they can't. But you have to be willing to stand in your power to make that so. You need to become so clear on who you are becoming now, the version of yourself who lives that future. You think of yourself when you are it, and you need to just be that now. It's a choice. It's a constant realigning and decision. And like I said, you've got to be f***ing strong because there are going to be so many people trying to keep you boxed into who you've been, including your own self. If you want to make a real change in your life, the shift starts first inside of you. We have to take it back to the source. When we make that shift, people outside of us are going to start to move in alignment with what we are projecting outwards. From how we be, how we carry ourselves, our energy even. This is on an unspoken subconscious level. And then you start to see the physical reality catch up. I'll leave a comment that I got on a video that I posted the other day, and I just felt like this was the perfect example of exactly what we're talking about here today. I also mentioned in one of my last videos, my 2023 reflections and 2024 intention setting, that I want to be vocal with you guys on the shifts that I'm making within my own life for my own manifestations and my own up level, so that if you guys notice any sort of energetic shift or any changes around me, you can also know the intention that has been behind that. So you can see me manifesting my own manifestations, my own up level in real time. And this comment is the perfect example of that. I mentioned one of my big intentions for this year is to be way more active here on YouTube and just on social media in general, and creating more offers or updating and adding to my current offers and being more vocal with sharing them with you. And a part of that is really stepping into that next level of identity that is okay with being seen, is okay with being online, and shows up in an authority as I do so. And the fact that you guys are already seeing this internal shift that I have been aligning to within myself is proof of everything that we're going to be talking about today, and can show you that this shit really does work, okay? So like I said, the shift starts within you. I'm going to help you to do that today. People on the outside are going to start to notice, whether they are consciously noticing that you've changed, or it's even on a subconscious level, or people who have never even met you before, so have nothing to compare you to. But people are going to start moving around you differently because you're moving differently, because you're being that up-leveled version of yourself. You have stepped into a new identity, which means that you have stepped into a new reality where you are this new identity, which means you are going to be living a different reality. It just makes sense, right? So that's step 2. The people around you are starting to act different. Then from there, it's just an easy slip and slide into step 3, where your physical reality outside of you starts to catch up to those internal changes you had been making and holding and embodying for probably some time now. And let me just say, when I say some time, this can happen really, really fast, but also give it time. So with all of that said, I am so excited to talk about identity today and help you to make that shift, because this is my shit. Quick note before I get any further, there are like 3 houses being built on my street right now, so we're just gonna ignore the construction noise, okay? Ignore it. Anyways, as I was saying, I'm so excited to talk about identity today because this is my shit. This is kind of one of the intuitive parts of manifestation that I was just born knowing about and embodying. I swear in another life, I know for a fact, I was a witch or teaching manifestation or doing very similar things that to what I do now because it's all been so intuitive to me. It's all felt like a bit of a remembering. But this was one of the aspects that before I knew what manifestation was, before I knew any of the technical terms, I just knew this. And it was the idea, the concept that you really can change who you are whenever the fuck you want to. And I think for some people that feels really difficult and feels foreign or strange. And that's why I think it's something that I'm really here to help you with. Because for me, it just makes sense. And I want to help bring you to the point where it just makes sense for you too. And you feel empowered to make these massive changes, to transform who you are and the life that you live. And let it just make sense. Let it be easy. Let it be. And of course, I have the power to do that. I'm a fucking creator. So today we are diving deep into identity work. And I'm going to help you to craft your next level self that you are going to be stepping into and embodying now, because I'm making you commit to that. And I'm not just going to help you to craft this next level identity and equip you with the knowledge to help you to actually embody and step into this identity and start being this identity fully now. But for my why learners out there, for the people who like to get a deeper understanding of how this all works, and why it works, and why starting at your identity for manifestation is so motherfucking powerful, I'm going to give you the science behind it too. If you're a nerd like me, or at least a nerd about manifestation and energetics and the quantum field and how the universe works like me, then you're gonna love this. And if you're not, you're still gonna enjoy this because it's just fascinating. And all the more proof of how we create our reality and how we can intentionally create our reality. In case you are new here, you should know that this is actually episode 2 of a 3-part challenge series that I'm doing here on this channel that is called the Scale Up Level Challenge. Part 1 was all about creating the vision. This is going to be all about creating and stepping into the identity. In my opinion, one of the most crucial parts of manifestation. That is just an ultimate cheat code when you understand how to embody that next level self before you're actually living that next level life. That's how you get there. So if you haven't watched episode 1, I really recommend that you do, because I'm going to be referencing it throughout this episode. But today's a very exciting day because today is actually also the day that Scale, my mindset, manifestation, and success course, cart is opening for enrollment. That means from today, February 29th through March 17th, you can actually get into this next round of Scale and take everything we're covering here so much deeper. I mean, it's hard for me to even explain to you how much deeper we take all of this into Scale, because you're probably thinking, but Brooke, I did the last episode's workbook and that shit was intense. Yes, it was, because I do not hold back in anything that I do. You might have noticed. So episode 2, you will have just as juicy of a workbook all about getting in touch with that next level self identity and embodying it now. Just as with episode 1, you have that really juicy workbook all about creating your soul aligned vision. But within the actual course of Scale, these are 2 topics: the vision, the identity, and what we will be covering in the final episode of this challenge next week in episode 3 are all topics that are setting you up with beautiful foundations to take even deeper into this round of Scale. And like I said in the very first episode of this challenge as well, even if you chose not to go deeper in Scale, I am setting you up for success here. But just know, if you feel that call by the end of this challenge, that it is your time to take this all miles of layers deeper and really walk the talk of manifestation, not just learning about all of this amazing stuff that is amazing to learn about, but actually applying it, actually creating a game plan for your life, for yourself, and for your up level that you can continue to build upon year after year after year to continue to up level and up level and up level again. If you feel that call, I want you in this round of scale with me. This round is extra special because I'm actually going to be updating and adding to it live with this current round that, like I said, will be opening for enrollment February 29th through March 17th. So if you want into this round, get in now. And if you're catching this later, you can always get on the wait list for another round. But I'm super excited and holding this really powerful intention to call those people in, call in the people that I made scale for. And honestly, I made scale for myself. I made scale for a past version of myself who would have paid millions. Well, I didn't have millions, but would have paid a lot of fucking money for the information that is in scale to be like a video game cheat code, to know all the secrets, all the tricks, all the strategies, all the energetic codes that would have saved me a lot of time and energy in the beginning of my manifestation and success journey. But I truly believe that I walked the path that I walked so that I could create scale, so that I could know exactly where you are as a big dreamer who has all of these things that they want to manifest and achieve within their life, all of these things that they likely want to see change or at the very least improve, this vision of themselves in their mind that they know or have this internal feeling that they could be, but are not yet. And these dreamers that want to have it all, be it all, do it all, but don't know how the fuck they are going to do it all. And maybe you are that dreamer and you've already started on the path, but you're feeling burnt out, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're really wondering how you are actually going to keep it up. And maybe you've let other parts of your life slide on the path to trying to achieve the success that you see for yourself in your mind. But I am a firm believer, and I always have been, and this is what led me through the trials and tribulations that eventually became the lessons that I learned to create scale. I'm a firm believer that you can have it all. You can be it all. You can do it all. And if you desire it, there is a reason for that. And you are meant to have it. You are meant to go after it. You are meant to make it your reality in this lifetime. Many of you guys might know that I have 2 businesses. I honestly say 3 sometimes because I have Arcanum LA, my crystal jewelry brand, quick plug. I have Arcanum Academy, which is my courses and my coaching like scale. And then I honestly consider even social media, my podcast, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, like another business within itself. Anybody who does this stuff knows what I'm talking about because it's a lot of work behind the scenes. And the thing with me is that I don't do all of that because I feel like I have to, or I'm driven by financial reasons to do all these things. I genuinely do it because I fucking love it, because it lights me up, because I received the most soul aligned download that these were the things I was meant to do. And I started doing them and I fell even deeper in love with them than I already was with the immediate concept or download that I received when I feel like the universe told me to go and do them. I say this so much, but I want you guys to understand that you can live a soul-aligned life and you can create things that don't exist for you yet that are so in alignment with you that only you can create them. For example, your dream relationship or your dream business or your dream lifestyle and way of living. And I created scale because on my manifestation journey, on my path to the success that I have now, and as I was successful and was continuing to build more and more success and continuing on the path of wanting to manifest all my different goals in all the different areas of my life, I began to fall out of balance. And that's the real honest truth here. Coming from already having changed and transformed my life, that first quantum leap, that first up level, and then getting there and starting to fall out of balance was honestly kind of a scary experience because I felt like I finally was manifesting my dream life. I finally was living it. And I was on the path to then manifesting that even greater next up level of my life, but things just weren't feeling good anymore. So I went on a journey to figuring it out, to solving it. I learned so many different tools and techniques and modalities. I studied, I learned, I applied, I embodied. I faced challenges head on and saw them as initiations and overcame them. I solved the problems that I had and created essentially this manifestation game plan, this dream life playbook that allows me to continue to manifest all of my big dreams into reality all at the same time, be endlessly ever improving, and continue to scale my life over and over and over again while feeling good doing it. I learned how to create a life that works with me and for me, utilizing these different tools and practices and strategies and techniques. And then I had one of my greatest downloads of all, which was, if I felt that way, and if this has helped me and my manifestation game so much so, there's probably other people out there who would greatly benefit from this as well. And so Scale was born. You will leave Scale absolutely transformed. And I feel like that's such a broad word. That's such a big word, isn't it? To just say you're going to be transformed, but it's hard to find another way to put it. Truly. To try to ground what that transformation will be for you, you will leave Scale with a new level of understanding of manifestation and energetics, specifically how to harmonize divine masculine and divine feminine energies within you to be that divine creator that you are here to be. It's not all about the hard work and efforting, but it's also not about just living in a dreamland. We combine the two in harmony while also learning about ourselves, our bodies, our energetic blueprint through different techniques like cycle syncing or human design, to learn how to move with our own energy, our own strategies, to harness our greatest creator power and make manifestation effortless for us. Make it enjoyable. Make it truly balanced and divinely influenced. And I'm going to show you how to actually walk the talk of all of this, right? Like I said, it's one thing to learn this. It's another to actually live it out and be supported by a system, by a structure, right? That healthy masculine strategy to help you actually do it. And that's one of my favorite parts of Scale and what has been one of the most transformational things within my own life. And it's what within Scale we call the Scale playbook. The Scale playbook is genuinely how I have manifested everything I've manifested, and I run my life off of the Scale playbook every single day. I'm not kidding. If you go on my computer at any moment, you will see a tab with the Scale playbook up. This is literally how I run my life. This is how I do everything. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with teaching people this. I'm obsessed with constantly improving my life from this and from the teachings in Scale, and just embodying them deeper and deeper and having the positive effects of them compound year after year after year. And I'm obsessed with seeing you have those same transformations and results. Like I said too, I will be updating and adding to Scale live with this new round because I've evolved over the last year. I finished making Scale in June, and already I've experienced such an up level. Like seriously, that's the power of actually applying all that's within Scale. So because I've experienced this up level, because I've introduced new modalities into my life, because I've taken all of this that is taught within Scale and just embodied it so much deeper, I have so much more to share with you now as well. Anyone who has been in Scale will tell you Scale is already a full spectrum course and has everything you need for not just one massive transformation, but continued up level, continued scaling year after year after year. But there's some juicy things that I've been loving in my life lately. Definitely getting more into the body, into nervous system regulation. And this kind of stuff is in there, but I just want to take it deeper with you guys, deeper into the feminine. I know we talk about sex magic in Scale, but just embodying even more of that sensuality and connection to your body to help regulate your nervous system and have that beautiful harmonized balance between divine masculine and divine feminine, and exercises to tap into both. That's something I'm really feeling into with adding with this new round. Like I said, I'm actually going to be updating the Scale playbook, the thing that I live off of, to make it even more juicier because I tweak and refine it as I use it in my real life. And I want to give you guys the most updated version that I've been vibing with. And something I was also playing with. I know there's a lot of people out there who their dream life, their dream career has to do with somehow being online, right? Even if it's that you want to start a business, that marketing takes place so much in today's day and age online. So I was thinking of adding some sort of content creator bonus as well that I think would really benefit you in your overall success. Whether you are a content creator or you're an entrepreneur or you dream of being an entrepreneur and starting a business or a side hustle, I just think this is good knowledge to have in this day and age. So something I'm playing with that would be added as a bonus at the end, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know if that sounds like something you'd be interested in me adding on. Anyways, I will link Scale down below for you so that you can get into this round with me. Like I said, I have set such a powerful intention to call in the most soul-aligned, big dreamers who are really ready to up-level the out of their lives and selves this year, because I want your energy in this round with me while I'm live updating it. This is a co-creation process. We have live calls as well. So I know that I'm going to be vibing with you. You're going to be vibing with me. And I want that level of good fucking energy from those big dreamers who are really ready to go big to be in here with me over the next few months while I'm in this creation portal. So I will leave everything down below for you linked. Like I said, you have until March 17th to get into this round, so do not miss it. I'll also link my Arcanum LA jewelry out for you. I'm wearing the Animus Corpus Anima necklace, Mind, Body, Soul, Rapture stack of rings, a bunch of the new bracelets we just got. This is Hematite Dragon's Jasper, I believe it's called, multicolored Tourmaline, and red Jasper. Jasper is one of my stones for this year for sure. And then the Peridot Deco hoops and holding a little garnet nugget. Naturally. Okay, before we get into the juice of this episode, and I know it's already been long, but trust me, this is a juicy one and you're gonna want to listen to the whole thing. I just want to remind you that with each of the episodes of this 3-week challenge, I'm also creating a really incredible implementation workbook to correspond with each of the videos. So the one for episode 2 is linked below in the show notes. You just need to give your email, your name, and you can get access to the episode 2 workbook. We're also doing a little challenge bingo card, so you can get the bingo card down below too with the workbook. And this is just to make the challenge even more of a challenge and something fun to do. And one of you who completes the challenge is actually going to win full free access to this next round of Scale. So hopefully that's a little incentive to apply yourself in this 3-week challenge if you weren't excited already. All of that will be linked down below for you. And I'm so excited to hear your updates along the way. So share with me in the comments too. So I want to start by giving you a little bit of background explanation as to why identity is so crucial in the manifestation process and why it's so important for you in achieving any of your dream life or dream selves or goals. Really, identity is where it is at, and I just wish more people had even this information because I think it would change the way that all of us live our lives. So I'm looking at something off my iPad obviously right now, but I'll probably pop something up on this screen so that you guys can kind of see what I'm referencing. But when we look at this pyramid, it's called the logical levels of change or the hierarchy of change. So we see environment at the bottom, then behaviors, capabilities, values and beliefs, and identity. And at the very top, purpose and spirit. So what most people do is when they want to change something, they reach outside of them to make that change. I've talked about this concept many times before. You might be familiar with it from my freebie manifestation keys that will be linked down below for you as well, which might be really good for you to grab too if you're interested in enrolling in Scale, just to kind of see a little bit more of my teaching style, although that's a completely different course than what Scale is. Scale is more of a much deep level course where this is more like a free private podcast feed. I digress. I've mentioned in manifestation keys as well. Wait, you guys, I just said manifestation keys that whole time and that's my freebie, which is also great. But what I'm actually referencing right now is Manifestation 101, which is a mini course. That's also like a private podcast feed type vibe. But again, something good to jump into if you are wanting to make the investment into Scale, but you kind of want to get a taste first. Again, even though Manifestation 101 is really fire, it doesn't even compare to the level that we go into in Scale. Anyways, I mentioned in Manifestation 101, there it is. Now you're getting it right, Brooke. I mentioned in Manifestation 101 this theory called the mirror theory. And basically that's just an explanation to help you understand how we create our reality. So how most people try to create their reality, right? Try to initiate change in their life is they reach outside of themselves to create that change. So with environment being at the bottom of this pyramid, that is the level of change people usually try to make. They start with reaching outside of them, trying to change the things around them, trying to change the external in hopes that then everything else is going to change too. People try to work this pyramid down ways up when we should be working it up to down. Does that make sense? It does if you're looking at it. So obviously with purpose and spirit at the top, this is the top level of influence on our change, which goes beyond us. This is the connection to something deeper, something beyond yourself in this physical world. And we kind of touched on this actually during episode 1 of this when we created your vision and we talked about your why. This ties you to a deeper purpose of why you want this change, what it means for you on an actually spiritual level. But you'll see that right under that is identity. If you think about it, it really does make sense that identity and purpose are those two top parts of the pyramid, because ultimately one of the most spiritual things that we can connect to in this existence is who we are. And I could get so esoteric with this, and I'm going to hold it back because we are expansive beyond what we can comprehend in our minds, of course, but our spiritual expression of that expansiveness is how we identify and move through the world in this lifetime. So when we can get into tinkering in with our identity, understanding who we are, why we're here, what we're here to do, who we're here to be, embodying that true expansiveness of our nature in the ways that we perceive ourselves now on this plane, right? Because it still is us. This expansive core of us is us, even though we are in these human suits. And we can start to identify as that and start to open ourselves, like we did in episode 1, to those limitless possibilities and believe in ourselves to be and have what we want and decide that we can be and have what we want, then start being it now. Everything else effortlessly trickles down from there. So you'll see in this pyramid, from there, your values and beliefs are naturally going to shift. When you work on identity and you decide and you craft this next level self and you get into who they are, you get into their mind, how they think, how they perceive the world, how they experience the world around them. And you really crack into there, right? Like, we're not doing anything here surface level, in case you haven't noticed yet. We aren't just saying, oh, I want to feel hot and confident and I want to work this job and wear clothes like this. Like, yes, okay, we're getting somewhere with that, but we want to take it so fucking deep. And I'm going to help you to do that here today. And when you do that, naturally, the values of this person, of this version of yourself, and the beliefs of them become clear to you. Not just what they believe about themselves, but what they believe about the world. What's actually important to them? What is of priority to them? What they value? Naturally, as you are being that version of yourself now, you are playing the role of it now, you're going to start embodying those values. You're going to start prioritizing those things because we are method acting here, right? We are not breaking character. That's how deep we go when we step into our next level self-identity. And as we should, right? Like, this is you. Who's to say that you are not that version of yourself? You are, if you let yourself be it now. This is the kind of stuff I just want to like shake everyone in the world with. Naturally from there, our capabilities, right? Our knowledge, our skills, our abilities are going to begin to change as well because we are being that version of ourselves. We are going to start thinking like them. We are going to start exploring the world like them, learning new things and developing new skills naturally because it's just what we do. And in the same way, the behaviors will change. The things that you do, the way that you show up, how you move just changes because you are this different you now. You are that fully this new identity. So you don't even have to think about doing the things. When you identify as the type of person who those things come naturally to, those things are going to begin to come naturally to, right? Like, if you identify as the type of person who is fit and healthy and you fully are in that identity, you are playing that character and you are playing it well. You are an Oscar nominee. You're a motherfucking Oscar winner. Okay? It's going to be really easy for you to get up and go to the gym, for you to sign up for those workout classes. You're going to be in those classes, and even if you're struggling because you're just getting into fitness, you're going to keep perpetuating that internal identity within yourself and telling yourself, no, this is what I do. I'm a healthy, fit person. And it's going to become so easy for you to do that. Versus if you continue to see yourself as who you are here today, right? Maybe you don't see yourself as a fit person. Maybe you don't work out. And if you continue to see yourself as that, if you just try to change your environment, right? You get some nice workout clothes and you start trying to force yourself to go to the gym. But the whole time you're telling yourself in your head, this isn't me, it's going to be way harder for you to stick to it. And I'll go as far to say you're not going to be able to stick to it. Okay, that's just the harsh truth. That's the harsh reality. We must attack change at the top of this pyramid, which is identity. Whew. Okay, now there's something else that I wanted to teach you. Okay, so one more little thing to nerd out about before we move on to actually crafting your next level self-identity. I want to tell you about this theory. It's called the Pygmalion effect. I think I'm saying that right. Also known as the Rosenthal effect, which might be easier for us to say. So what the Pygmalion or Rosenthal effect tells us, it's a study of a phenomenon in which when people have higher expectations of others, they actually perform better. So it's best explained through a little graph. I'll include some sort of graphic for you guys here so you can kind of follow along, but I'm going to look off my iPad just so I get this right because it is best explained as somewhat of a circle. So I'm going to explain this with names to identify the subjects of this effect. So person A, we are going to call Jim. Person B, we are going to call Kate. So what this effect explains is that Jim has beliefs about Kate, right? Person A has beliefs about person B. And Jim's beliefs about Kate, whether true or not, are going to affect the way that Jim acts towards Kate. It's going to affect his actions toward Kate. So these actions are then going to have an effect on Kate and what Kate believes about her own self. My battery died, so ignore the slight change of view. As I was saying, Jim's actions towards Kate create an impact on how Kate then believes about her own self. Then Kate's beliefs about her own self, which were projected on her, again, remember, from Jim, now causes Kate's actions towards Jim, which just further reinforces Jim's beliefs about Kate. To put this simply, what this effect shows us is two things. One, when we believe something about another person, we on a subconscious level will treat them differently. We will project that belief onto them. This, even on a subconscious level, is going to change how they feel about their own self, how they believe about their own self. And this is going to influence then how they treat you and how they act towards you, which is further going to reinforce your original beliefs about them because we're essentially projecting this belief onto them, causing to create this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, on the other hand, right, what if you are Kate? What if you are the person who is being projected onto? We can prevent this pattern by standing firm in our own beliefs about ourselves, being unmovable by other people's projections onto us, and instead causing people's projections back to us. So rather than being at effect of somebody else's projection and beliefs onto you, when we craft and create an identity and we stand firm in this identity, right? We're method actors. We're winning the Oscar. When we stand firm in this identity, we embody it. We can't be told shit. It is who we are now, regardless of anything outside of us. Now we aren't being influenced by anybody's projections or beliefs onto us. We're influencing our own actions towards other people. And what is that going to do? Reinforce, or rather influence now from our own chosen way of being. Now these actions that we are taking around people and towards people from the own belief of self that we've created, this is now going to influence the other people's beliefs about us. So we can make this effect really work for us in two ways. One, when we want people to act a certain way with us, we can assume and project positive intention onto them, just as Jim did. So we can be the Jim in this situation and assume that people like us. Believe about that other person that they like you. They maybe want to hire you, or they want to be with you, or they think you're really cool. And this is going to influence our actions towards them, which is going to influence their own beliefs and then their actions towards us, which will reinforce our belief that we've decided to project onto them. In the same way, we can be Kate. We can be firm in our identity and non-influenced by anybody outside of us, and instead choosing to be the influencer by standing solid in our beliefs, knowing that our beliefs are going to influence our actions and that those actions towards other people are going to influence their beliefs on us. See how this circle works? And at the root of this all is identity. It's getting solid, getting firm, getting clear in our identity, our desires, how we want to perceive ourselves and how we want others to perceive us. So now that you understand the importance, I think we can get into actually creating your next level self. So go ahead and download that episode 2 workbook if you haven't already, although I'm sure you have, you little overachiever. This workbook is going to help you massively to get the clarity on your next level self, but I just want to kind of get the juices flowing for you now and walk you through some thoughts to be meditating on and some of my tips for when I'm aligning to my next level self. So first, the big question that everyone always asks when we talk about identity, right? You always want to look at your vision, and lucky you crafted your vision in episode 1, and ask yourself, who is the version of me who is already living this vision, who is already living this reality? And then asking yourself details about them. What are they like? Getting into the nitty gritty of who that person is, really discovering that version of yourself who is already living and has already manifested that dream life, that vision that you crafted in episode 1. Now, I'm aware this can feel a little daunting, right? And I want you to get into the specifics. That's really where the juice is here. That's where the key for this actually working is, right? I mentioned method acting. When somebody is going to prepare for a role, they aren't going to do some surface level, oh, I think they might be like this, whatever, or just go into it blindly. They're going to really get to know who this person is. They're going to get into the details of them. So to help to ease you into really getting into the fine details of who this next level version of yourself is, I have some little tips for you. So when I'm building out my next level self and I'm looking at that vision and I'm asking myself, who is the version of myself who is living this vision, who has already manifested this as their reality? It can be really helpful to first kind of begin to build it out by just creating pillars of identity, right? Some key points or aspects of who this person is, the energy they embody, what they represent. It might even be useful to connect with certain symbols or even colors or anything that just kind of draws you in to who this person is. I'll give you some examples from my own so this can make a little bit more sense for you. I'll always kind of hone on into certain words. This is kind of like a yearly process for me when I'm creating my vision and I'm really aligning to who that next level is that I'm stepping into now. This is done yearly or as I see fit, right? Because like I said, this up level can happen fast and you may create this next level identity of yourself and feel like you have already fully embodied and manifested that next level self within like 2 or 3 months. The up level happens that fast when you really work the process. So something that I do as part of my process whenever I feel like it's time to step into that next level version of myself, I'll look at my vision. I'll look at what I'm wanting to step into and manifest now. And I'll really get in touch with who this version of myself is and specifically what they exude, right? Like what they feel like. And before I get into the details of them, I'll kind of build out pillar words or phrases, things that just really resonate with what they live by and who they are. Some words for myself this year have been sensual. So more tapped into the feminine, more tapped into the body, more tapped into the senses. Present has been such a big word for me that just comes up all the time in my alignment practices when I'm aligning to this version of myself, when I'm catching myself out of alignment and getting back into alignment. Presence is huge. So being still, being here, ties in really well with that sensual aspect as well. This version of myself that I'm stepping into, she's just connected. She's just fully here and the magician of the moment. She's consciously crafting every second, every aspect of her life, and she's just feeling her way through it in this present moment, being fully here, creating it all within the now and in the pleasure of that creation experience and really enjoying it, really juicing it. I feel like you've probably heard me use the word juicy so much lately, and I feel like that just encompasses that kind of sensuality and that presence and the spaciousness, the lust that comes from being in that embodiment. You can see I'm obviously very tapped to these identities and aspects of self that I'm stepping into, and this is because I've already built out more of the identities. But for you just starting, just finding these pillar words, these pillar aspects. Other ones for me have been courageous, motivated. And these are kind of key aspects, key pointers that I can kind of build off of to define and build out more and more to get into the details of what all of that really means and how this next level version of myself shows up in these ways and really embodies them, how she actually walks this out in her life, how she exudes this, how she bees this. Like I said, I also like to kind of connect with symbols or colors. For me this year, even before I knew it was the year of the dragon was just coming up for me so much, just like my dragon year, my dragon self. It's funny, we'll talk about naming your alter ego in a second, but I kind of called this version of myself Brooke Dragon before I even knew it was the year of the dragon, so it was all very weird. I also planned to get a dragon tattoo, which I have now, before I knew it was the year of the dragon. We're just aligned over here. But dragon was just very symbolic of this energy that I'm stepping into, as well as the color red. So the purpose of this is for you to just kind of begin to open your senses to feeling into this next level self without trying to think too hard into it, right? I want you to first just kind of vibe with it, feel into it. And it's easier to feel into it and kind of pull little sentences or phrases or words or symbols than it is to sit down and think right away, okay, what does this person do? How do they show up in this way? I just find it way more intuitive to kind of vibe with it first. Something else that can really help you in building upon the specifics is to then take this little outline that you have going, this energetic compass, if you will, and find some expanders that really embody aspects that you have specifically picked out and identified as aspects that you are now choosing to embody as this next level version of yourself. So it's likely you're going to have multiple expanders to represent different things within your identity. For me, I've never had one expander that has embodied all of a next level version of self that I'm becoming. And that's because I really want you to add your own unique flair to this, right? Like at the end of the day, you are still you are still yourself. And there's never going to be another person out there that is going to be exactly like you. And when you really tap into the identity of how and who you want to be, there's going to be pieces that you may find in some people, but they might not embody those other pieces or be as spot on in them as somebody else might be able to represent for you. So be willing to kind of Frankenstein your expanders. And maybe you'll find somebody who represents the way you want to be in your ideal relationship. Maybe you'll find somebody who really represents how you want to be in your health and fitness. Maybe you find somebody who really represents your style. Maybe you find somebody who represents your career and success. But building out these kind of role models for yourself can be really useful as well when you're then getting into the nitty-gritty of how you're going to show up, how you're going to embody this next level self-identity that you are stepping into now, and some tangible ways to do it by kind of pulling from these expanders that you've Frankenstein together and collected. So in the episode 2 workbook, I have some really good questions for you to work through in getting into the details of who this next level version of yourself is. So definitely create some time and space in your schedule to really sit down and get into the details there. Don't rush it. Let yourself really flow through it as you're answering. I actually explain in the workbook that when I'm working on this kind of stuff, I like to kind of create this like daydream vibe around me where I could just kind of stare out the window and ponder and just be in this space of almost kind of channeling through inspiration and ideas rather than really forcefully thinking like, what does this version of me look like? How do they dress? What are their routines, right? Like we can use our logical mind for parts of this and it's useful too, but also just kind of like in episode 1 where we just open ourselves to expansive, infinite possibilities, doing that again with this next level version of you. And of course, making sure that it aligns to that vision that you want to manifest. Like I said, I like to give my next level versions of self a name. So my first time that I did this, it was Brooke 2.0. Then I had a Brooke 3.0. And now it's Brooke Dragon, I guess. We don't really know, but that's the best that I've come up with at this point. Also, funny story that I just need to share here because I know that you guys are the ones who will vibe with this and get it. How crazy is it that I received mail the other day in my mailbox to someone with the last name Dragon? Weird, right? But also not weird. I'm taking that as a sign of the universe being like, yes, that's who you're stepping into this year. So, Brooke Dragon, my dragon self. That's the energy we're stepping into. But creating that name and giving a name to this identity that you're going to build out can kind of help you with organizing it in your mind, right? Giving this alter ego, this next level self, a name can really help you in organizing it in your mind, as you build out the details of this next level version of yourself and make it more easy for you in your mind to hold things up to it. So you can ask yourself as you approach situations, as you step out in life and walk through your day, and ask yourself, how would me 2.0 do this, right? How would Brooke 2.0? How would Brooke 3.0? How would Brooke Dragon go about doing this activity or this task that I have in front of me now? How would this next level version of me make this decision? What would they do in this circumstance? And the more that you are able to identify with what that next level version of yourself that you are choosing to embody now, what they would do in your circumstances, in your situations, in your experiences, in your decision making, and you choose to make moves in alignment with this next level version of you rather than what may feel comfortable to you or automatic to you, because that's a past self identity that you're still just comfortable in, but instead choosing to go all in and method act the role of your life as this next level version of yourself, choosing to ask how they would go about this day and then going about your day in that way, asking yourself what they would do in this situation and then moving the way that they would move in this situation. Asking yourself how they'd handle something, how they'd feel about something, and then embodying that now. Asking yourself if they would do something or not do it, and then doing what they would do. The more that you can do this, and the more that you do this, the quicker that quantum leap happens because you are aligning. This is alignment. This is what we talk about when we talk about moving in alignment. This is what we talk about when we talk about being it now. You don't choose to make those decisions and move in those ways and respond in those ways when you are living that reality. You choose to be the version of yourself who is living that reality now. And that means that however they respond, however they decide, however they move, you do it now. And this is going to force you into change. This is going to force you into being in a way that you have never been before, because you are creating a life you've never created before. So you're going to have to be a version of yourself that you have never been before. And it's up to you to continuously decide to do so. So holding things up to, what would my next level self do? How would my next level self invest in themselves? How would they take care of themselves? How would they set themselves up for their future, right? When you look at the things that you want to do, whether it's apply for a job, quit your job, invest in a course for your growth, asking yourself, would my next level self do this? Would my next level self stay in this relationship that I know isn't serving me? Would my next level self stay in this job that I hate? Is my next level self working this job? No, so why am I? Would my next level self confidently invest in something that they know is going to greatly benefit their future and their success? Then why aren't I now? And then the more that we can push ourselves and decide to take those leaps, and take those leaps in faith and trust, knowing that you are divinely guided through it all. And although it's going to feel scary, know that this is the process. And the more you align, the more you be it now, the quicker that vision will manifest for you. We just begin collapsing timelines. That's really what this is here. When you be it now, you collapse that timeline between who you are and the version of yourself who manifests that reality. You become that version of yourself now. So what's going to happen? That reality has to manifest. But you can't half-ass this shit, right? You don't do some things that the next level version of yourself does, but not the others, and then think you're fully aligned and fully being that next level version of yourself. You either are or you aren't yet. Or you're on the path to it, which is a beautiful place to be as well. It can take time to fully transition and really become that full embodiment, and that's okay. But step one is just getting that clarity, just getting that awareness, just knowing who this next level version of yourself is, crafting them up in a juicy, detailed vision, the same way you crafted up your vision in episode 1. And like I said when we started, the only person who can actually stop you from becoming this next level version of you now is you. And people might hold you up to past versions of yourself and make you feel like you're stuck in this past identity because it's who they know you as. But the best advice that I can give you for that, as harsh as it is, that's just a form of your own self-sabotage and your own keeping yourself small. We have to expand beyond our current circumstances to ever grow beyond them. We must already be somewhere else to manifest that physically. So when you feel like it's hard to step into that next level version of yourself because there's all these people who you feel are keeping you as the version of yourself that you've been up until now, it's because you're letting them, babe. You're letting them. And you know what? Yeah, it is hard. It is hard to decide to use your own power and turn that switch on where you mute out everything that is your current circumstance, everything that you can see with your eye and experience in the here and now, and rise above it. And you choose to drown out the voices and the opinions of others and the judgment that others might have on you. That is hard, okay? But ultimately, it's you who chooses to let it be hard and do it anyways, or never grow and stay the same. It takes us back to that Rosenthal effect. Are you going to let other people project their beliefs on you and tell you what to believe about yourself? Or are you going to choose what to believe about yourself and influence what other people will eventually think and believe about you from that? And it might take time. It's going to take a little bit of time, especially with the people who know you already, to catch up to the version of yourself that you are now and to begin to see you that way. I can tell you from my own experience, people have not always viewed me the way that people view me now. And I don't just mean out in the world, out in the ethers, you guys. I also mean my own family, people close to me, right? I haven't always been seen and respected and understood the way that I am now. But the reason why I am is because I chose to be this self. I chose to be this Brooke that's in front of you right now. I want you to know that. I want you to know how real this shit is and how hard it works if you work the process, okay? I chose this. I chose this Brooke. This was a Brooke that I crafted up in my imagination years ago, right? And there's another Brooke that I'm crafting up in my imagination now. And guess what? I'm doing my best to step into her now, to be her now. I am trying to embody, I won't even say trying, I am embodying Brooke Dragon in everything I do, every day, every step that I take, every decision I make. When I sit and create anything, I'm getting into her energy because I'm expanded beyond my current circumstance. Not because I have to be, not because I'm not happy in my current circumstance. I love myself now. I love the life I've created, but because my soul feels called to expand, my soul feels called to grow, my soul is calling me to step into this higher version of myself. And so that's what I'm doing. And we get to continue to do that. We get to do it again and again and again. And with that up level, with that next level self embodiment, we also manifest that next level life, that next level dream life that you're envisioning. They go hand in hand, and it's such a beautiful process, and it's such a beautiful game to play over and over and over again. And that's really what this is. It's the game of life, you guys. And either you play it or you get played. And I know that that sounds harsh, but again, when we think about how other people are subconsciously influencing us, and if we're unconscious to the power that we actually have, then we aren't able to actually utilize that power. But let me tell you, this power is powerful. This power is divine. And so I want you to wake up to it. I want you to harness it. I want you to use it to create your own reality. Create the self that you choose for yourself and the life that you choose for yourself. Like I said, workbook number 2 is going to walk you through it. You are going to get into the nitty-gritty details. And if you are feeling lit the fuck up and you are ready to take this so much deeper with me over the next 3 to 4 months, I'm saying 4 months now, because like I said, I'm going to be adding to it. I want to see you in scale. I want you in this round with me. If this episode resonates for you at all and clicks with you at all and gets you going, and there's a part of you telling you it's f***ing time, I want you in there. I want to see what you create when you are equipped with the tools to not only harness your power, but learn how to work with it, learn how to work it, learn how to work the process of manifestation, and learn how to work the innate power that you have within yourself that is just waiting for you to wake up to it. You get to have it all. You get to be it all. You get to do it all. And you get to feel f***ing good while you do it. I want you to learn how to create a life that works for you and with you, that feels good to live and feels good to expand. And if this clicks for you, I want you to know I literally built scale for you. Like, you're my person. I made it for you. And we're two of the same, because I made it for me too, okay? This round is only open to get into from February 29th, the day this video is coming out, to March 17th. So do not wait. Get in, and I can't wait to get to know you within it. We're going to have live calls where I'm going to be able to answer your questions and get to know you more. And if you're one of those big dreamers, I'm really excited to do that. So get into this round. Let's do this together. I will link the enrollment page down below for you. And also do not forget to grab the episode 2 workbook and the bingo card and commit to this 3-week challenge, and you might even win free access to Scale. I'll pop up the rules here, and just side note, if you already enroll in Scale but you end up winning, you will be refunded. Okay, babe, don't worry. I thought about this. Comment down below, you know the vibe. I'm making this like a manifestation portal in this comment section, okay? Let me know how you're feeling after this episode. Let me know that identity that you're stepping into. Let me know what comes up for you after working through that workbook and those details that you begin to juice out of this next level self that you're becoming now. Let me know what you're naming them. What is your alter ego's name? And just share with me any other thoughts, feelings that you have. I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. We are in this together, and I'm truly, truly so happy that you're here. I'm so thankful that you're here, and I love you. I really, really do. Each and every one of you. It's not by mistake that we found each other, you know? It's not by mistake that we're all here right now connecting in this way, and I'm just glad that we did. I'm glad that we've all found each other in this lifetime, and probably many others. Okay, my loves, with that, I am sending you so much love, so much good energy, and I will see you next week for episode 3. Bye.